welcome back to my channel. My name is Maggie. Today I've got my August budget closeout video, which I'm really looking forward to doing with you today. I have my budget already closed out, so I have all my numbers. We're going to color in some trackers and just kind of close out the month and start September off fresh. So let's go ahead and dive in here. The first thing I like to start with is the Paycheck Report. So I just write out every time I had income, in my bank account and what that was all related to. I just find it interesting. It's nice for me to kind of zoom out and see where I have things coming in from. So the bulk of my money this month came from my salary, of course. And then I did earn $7.34 from my Capital One interest. So I have 360 accounts for my different sinking funds, and they all pay out really well, which is nice to see that, growing on itself without my work. I also did some Amazon Mechanical Turk or M-Turk surveys. I did those quite a bit during the pandemic because there's nothing, else to do. And I don't know, I was bored. My boyfriend was traveling, so I did some, and I, got almost $10, not quite, but close. Discover cash back. This is kind of a normal thing. And then my property tax refund came through. So I am able to qualify for a partial property tax refund. So this year I got $445, which is great. I put 100 of that into my Roth IRA and then the rest of it into my annual sinking fund to help pay for, larger expenses that just come up once a year. Betterment dividends. My boyfriend's check to me this month was $344. I do the majority of the shopping for the household for like groceries, household items, and then anything he wants me to order online for him, I buy as well, and then he just pays me back. And then also some more cash back from my Capital One credit card. So my total income for the month, $5,254.41. 15.91% of that was passive, which is really great. I'm aiming to be about 15% this year. That is a goal of mine. So let's look at the actual budget. I don't think I'm going to go line by line. I'll just kind of call out some of the items here, but essentially I have my original budget, a column for the actual numbers, and then the percentages. The percentages, I really, really love to calculate. It helps me kind of, put it all into perspective. So I'm just going to call out the things that were a little different. So insurance just changed by a penny, so no big deal. Subscriptions was up a little bit. I don't really know what happened. I need to go see if anything changed in the monthly amount or if I just miscalculated something. I'm not really sure, but that's okay. I was under on groceries this month. I'm really, really excited about that. Gas I was under as well, which doesn't surprise me. And what I've decided to do is any extra gas money, I budgeted $60. I didn't use all of it. So the leftover I'm putting into my car sinking fund just because I feel like they go hand in hand and I can build that sinking fund up a little bit more. And then spending $750, $478. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. It is what it is. I do know that I'm always over on spending, but when I look at this, in the grand scheme of things, I'm okay with it. It is what it is. I'm sure someone's going to disagree with me, but that's okay. So overall, my expense section, so all of these expenses, 55.99% of my total income, which feels amazing to be under 60%. Normally I'm aiming just to be under 63%, but I totally smashed it this month. So I'm really proud of that. Looking at the funds, here's this annual one where I put extra money from the property tax refund. Otherwise, everything's pretty normal. The car got a little bit more. I do have a car appointment in September. So I am bulking this up quite a bit just because I am looking to get new tires and get all that done before it starts to get icy and snowy where I live. So I think next month will be an expensive car month. So I'd rather just funnel, extra money in there. What else can I say? I think that's really it for the fund section. It came out to being 24.99%, so almost 25%. I think that's a really great place to be. Investing, Betterment is a taxable brokerage account, $25.18. And then my Roth IRA, I was able to put $813.20 into my Roth IRA, which feels so, so good. So really, really proud of that. My investing total was 15.96%. And then I did cash flow a massage. I budgeted 160 and it came out at 160,109. And I was like, oh, so freaking close. So I was slightly over, but no big deal. That's what my incidental fund is for, to help me just cover that last $1.09. So 3.07%, and that brought me down to zero. All right, next I've got the sinking fund updates. So I list out the sinking funds, if they're up or down compared to last month, and any notes. So annual, I'm up and I had that property tax refund. Miko is my cat. I did have a Chewy order. I buy his food through Chewy and it's on auto ship, so it comes every couple of months. So that came through this month. Nothing from vacation. Beauty, I had a couple of replacement products I needed to order from Ulta. Gifts, I had 3 birthday gifts. So overall my total is down because I was spending, money on people I love and celebrating people. But I will be building this back up for Christmas now. I don't have any other birthdays to, handle. So it's building mode for gifts going forward. Opportunity $109.99. Didn't have any, spending here this month. And then home is up. I did buy a couple of cleaning supplies and also some organization. I got a Lazy Susan for our spice cabinet and I'm really happy with it. It's definitely made that a lot more manageable. I felt like everything was so deep in there that you couldn't see what it was. Down here I have the savings rate. I've already calculated this. I used to do the math together, but I think what I'm going to do is just kind of talk through the totals. So I calculate 2 different savings rates. The first one is without including the mortgage principal, and I did outstanding this month. So 52.24%. That's insane. I've never been over 50% before. So I saved between investing and just holding on to cash 52.24% of my total income this month. That's amazing. This does include my 401k and my HSA, which come out before the paycheck hits my account. So that's why you don't see those in my budget. And then if I do include my mortgage principal, I'm at 58.41%. So very happy with that. I'm definitely impressed with myself. Okay, let's do some trackers next. So here I have my retirement savings goal. I write down for each month what I contribute to my retirement account. So I've got my Roth 401k, my HSA, and my Roth IRA. So this month, 15-10-45 went to my retirement goal, which is amazing. And I do have a little tracker down here that I'm going to color in. My goal is to save 15% in retirement this year of my, gross salary and all that. I had a slow start because I have been, if you don't know, working on finishing my emergency fund earlier in the year, and I did finish that. So now I'm shifting gears and putting all my spare money into the Roth IRA to max that out. So I do have about $5,400 to go, but we'll see. I still have 4 months, and I feel like I'm going to be able to get pretty close, and maybe I'll just get lucky and meet it. I am slightly nervous, but good vibes. We're going to get there. So that's done. Next, I have my Roth IRA tracker. So this is from Alicia Does Adulting. I really like the just kind of simple design of it. So on the back, I write down for each month how much I contributed and what the new total amount is. For the 2022 tax year, you can contribute up to $6,000 into your Roth IRA. So that's what I'm working towards. So I can color in 8 and just a little sliver of these dollar bills, which is really exciting. So I'm just going to color these in really quickly here. Okay, there we are. So we're already done with one row. We're over $1,000 into the Roth IRA. This is really satisfying to see, and I'm looking forward to having this build on itself. So we'll see how many dollars we'll be able to color in next month. I don't think I'll have as many because I'm having these car appointments and tires and all that, but we'll see what we can pull off. So there is the Roth IRA tracker. And then my last tracker is my mortgage amortization schedule. So I make an extra payment towards my mortgage every year, and I break that one extra payment down by 12 because I pay my mortgage once a month. So I'm just making a small extra amount of principal only payment every month, but it is snowballing on itself. So I like to write down what my balances are against what I was scheduled to be at. So I was supposed to pay $475 in interest this month, but I only paid $462.25. And then I was supposed to only pay $277 towards the principal, but I actually paid $367.40. Now, technically, I'm making like 1.5 extra payments this year. My stuff adjusted and I never put it back because I figured it's still helping my principal payoff. So all in all, what we're going to do today is cross off the balance that I've surpassed. So I'm currently at $142,781. And I left off here. So $142,781 is definitely lower than $983. So I'm going to highlight this one. But $781 is not quite lower than $692. So I can just highlight the months where I get to highlight 2. It's very exciting. But you know, it's nice to be able to see it, and it's something that I can count. So I am currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 months ahead on my mortgage, which feels really, really good to see this build, as I've mentioned, and snowball on itself. So that is the last tracker I have. Okay, so I have just 2 sections on my overview sheet that I need to fill out, and then we'll talk about reflections and goals. So something that I've been doing is pulling out $80 in cash. I'm pulling $40 from my spending budget category and $40 from my grocery category. And I pull it out in cash. I'm normally not a cash spender. I prefer to use my card, but there's instances where it's nice to be able to have cash. We have a farmer's market and stands with, you know, local produce, and it's just easier to pay cash. So that's why I like to have it. But one of my goals is to have a little bit of that spare cash left over at the end of the month. So this is the money that I pulled out of my wallet that I still had. So I have $10, $15, $20 left over from the month, which is pretty good, I would say. You know, the money is meant for me to spend, but it's nice to have a little bit left over. So I'm just going to write this down. I had $20. And I'm going to put this aside. I need to find like a cute little container, like a piggy bank or something to put this in. And I just want to kind of build it, and I don't know, maybe like a year from now or something we'll count it. But yeah, I wanted to just kind of start sharing this with you. Previously, I've been doing this all summer, but I've been putting the money towards my emergency fund because that was my primary goal. But now I think I'm just going to have it off to the side, and I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet, but you know, we'll figure that out together when we get there. So I also went to the bank this morning and I pulled out the $80 for September. So this is going to go into my wallet and just sit there and see what I end up using it for, or maybe I won't use it at all, and all of this will be rollover. We'll see. So there's that. And then I also wanted to track the percentage progress of my Roth IRA. So my total is 1112.95 divided by 6,000. So my Roth IRA is at 18.54%. I just think that it's nice to track in percentages. Obviously, you're getting the idea that I like percentages. Okay, let's talk about some reflections. I always like to list out a couple of highs and lows for the month. So my highs, I was able to put a lot of extra money towards my Roth IRA. I only budgeted like $540, but I was able to put over $800 in there. So that felt really good. I also, at the beginning of the year, had a plan for what I would do with this property tax refund money, and I followed it. So I put an extra 100 in the Roth and the rest into the annual sinking fund. It helps me pay for like big expenses that come up once a year. So it's nice to have a little bit more buffer in there. I also had a work trip throughout the month, which meant that we really didn't do any grocery shopping or eating out. I mean, I ate out because I was traveling, but it's expensive. But my boyfriend insisted that he would just eat what's in the house, which I think is great. And September is Shelf-tember. If you are familiar with Jordan Page, I love her concept of Shelf-tember, and I am going to take on the challenge. I'll talk about that in a moment when we go through the goals. Okay. Some not so great things is I wanted to read more. I'm reading The Millionaire Next Door, and I just didn't prioritize it, to be honest. And then I had a few random incidental purchases. So we had to do some replacements. My coffee maker, I use a French press. So there's like a glass, I kind of think looks like a beaker in there, and it fell off the counter and broke. So I had to buy a new replacement of that, which is fine. That's what my incidental fund is for. And then I also needed some new water shoes. We have zebra mussels in our lake, which is really unfortunate. So it makes the beaches very sharp and you cut up your feet. So I just needed to get some new water shoes so that I could comfortably be on the beaches. So, you know, it's not terrible, but it's still something that came up. And when I look back at these notes at the end of the year, I want to remember that. Okay, let's finish up here with some goals. So these were the August goals. I wanted to send $600 to the Roth IRA, nailed it. Expenses under 61%, nailed it. Stay within the gift budget. So I had a budget set for each of the 3 birthdays I was celebrating. And as a total, like if you tallied up all 3 of those totals, I'm under that. But 2 people I went over, 1 person I was under. So it balanced out. I marked it as yellow because it's kind of in between, and it's making me reevaluate what I want to do for next year birthday budgets. I wanted to cash flow the massage, and I did. Complete the book, Millionaire Next Door, did not do. And I want to have spare cash at the end, which I did. I had $20. How nice is that? Okay, let's end here with going through my September goal. So I want to build my car fund up for the service appointment. I have already done my September budget, and then I booked the car appointment, and my budget has already changed. So we'll talk about that in September's closeout video, but I'm funneling most of my spare cash towards my car for September instead of the Roth IRA. So I'm budgeting $100 for the Roth IRA in September. I'm challenging myself to put at least $150 in there. Maybe I can get higher, but I think it's nice to always have, you know, something that's a little bit higher than what you budgeted. I for real want to finish Millionaire Next Door. I read like 20 pages last night. I'm not a reader. See, this is part of it, is I think it's really interesting material, but I'm not very good at reading. So I'm working on it. I also want to have spare cash at the end of the month, even if it's, you know, $2, that'd be great. I also have in September new paycheck amounts going to come through. So my company does their insurance, like annual enrollment and re-enrollment and all that over the summer. So that happened in August. So September will be the first month where I get to see what that changes look like in my paycheck. But I won't use those paychecks until October because I'm a month ahead. I know it's a lot of moving pieces here, but basically I want to see what those new check amounts are going to be and then forecast the rest of the year, to kind of figure out what we're looking like for October, November, December. Okay. And my last goal, I just made a real life update. I'm going to take on the Shelf-tember challenge from Jordan Page. If you're not familiar with her, I would highly recommend you check her out. I will leave her Shelf-tember like videos on YouTube and stuff. But she challenges you in the month of September to shop your shelves at home for meals. So you're going to go through your pantry, your freezer, whatever condiments you already have, seasonings you already have, like you're just trying to use what you have. It's like a month-long pantry challenge. So I'm going to challenge myself for $50 a week. There's 4 Mondays in the month, so that'd be $200 there. And then I made this $350 because I also include our liquor store purchases in the grocery budget, and I just want to have a little bit of wiggle room. I'd love to be even closer to $300, but I'm gonna set the goal at $350. I'm really looking forward to it. I definitely have, you know, good stock of things, and then that $50 a week, you know, that's to buy fresh things like fresh vegetables. We don't really drink milk, but we drink almond milk, you know, whatever that may be, but really looking to kind of work down my pantry, what I've got. We have a nice stock, and it's time to prioritize it. So that's going to be the last goal here for the month of September. So that is it for me today. I hope you guys really enjoyed. I'd love to hear how August went for you. What's a high and a low? Let me know in the comment section down below. That's going to be it for me today. So I will see you in my next video. Bye.